Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to create a Discord bot using the Discord Pi library on a Raspberry Pi, and we're going to be using Discord Pi because it runs off of Python and the Raspberry Pi has pretty good support for Python scripts. So the first thing you're going to need is an SD card, which I'm plugging in right now. The size isn't too important. I would recommend probably at least 4 gigabytes. Right now I'm using a 32 gigabyte SD card, but the size isn't too important. So I just plugged mine in, and right now I have a Raspberry Pi image on it right now, so I'm gonna have to remove that. And if you guys have that, or if you have any images on it that you need to get rid of, you're gonna want a software called sdformatter.exe, which is right here. You just download that, and then what this does is when you open it, you click yes, and then you select your drive. In this case it's K. Options, you do full erase, format adjust on, so this just wipes everything on it, and then it resizes it to the original, like 32 gigs or whatever it is. So now if you check, you have a empty K drive. The name isn't reset, but that doesn't matter. So the next thing you do is you go to raspberrypi.org, and you go ahead and pick out the latest version of Raspbian. You could do this on, I guess, any Ubuntu. It doesn't really matter. It has a lot of support. I'm just using Raspbian because it works pretty good on the Raspberry Pi. So download your most recent one. For me, it's Jesse from July 2017. I would recommend torrent, but it works just as well. So I have it right here, the image file. So what you're gonna go ahead and do is, for me, it's right here. You open up Win32 Disk Imager. What this does is it writes the image file onto an SD card in a way that it could actually be booted from. So you go ahead and select it, go to desktop, Raspbian Jesse, and then just go ahead and click write. Now this takes a few minutes. Here it says about 4 minutes, maybe 5. As soon as that's done, I'll come back to you guys, and then from there on we'll be moving on to the Raspberry Pi itself. Slide it into the slot, and I have my HDMI here, wireless keyboard and mouse there, so that should be pretty much everything. So let me go ahead and rotate this cable. Oops, not too good with just one hand. Alright, so the first thing we're going to be doing is enabling SSH. So you're going to go ahead and type in, see if I can get this, sudo raspi-config. So that's the command. You click enter. Alright, you go under, oh yeah, interfacing options, I apologize. So go ahead and enable SSH. So SSH server is enabled. Okay, so go ahead and do finish. So what we just did is enable the SSH server on the Raspberry Pi. And now go ahead and do reboot, just for, safety, to make sure everything's working okay. Okay, so now that the Raspberry Pi is rebooted, we're going to go ahead and get our IP address. You can't get your IP address if you have not connected to Wi-Fi. So go ahead and just restart the Wi-Fi real quick just to get it to connect. If the Wi-Fi doesn't connect, I'll probably have to use Ethernet, in which case I'll do that, but okay, there it is. So go ahead and sign into your Wi-Fi or your Ethernet get plugged in. Alright, so I just typed in my Wi-Fi password and now we're connected. So go ahead and go back to ifconfig. Alright, so you'll see something that looks, okay, there it is. So it'll give you something under WLAN0 that's like, this is your internal address. It doesn't really matter. So it's 192.168.1.86. So keep that written down somewhere. Okay guys, so I'm back here on the PC. So we enabled SSH, and the last thing we did was get our IP address. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, 192.168.1.86. Yours will obviously be different most likely, so go ahead and click open, and then just a little warning here, it doesn't matter. So if you're doing this on Raspbian, your username should be Pi, and your password should be Raspberry, unless you changed it. So here we are inside of the Raspberry Pi. So basically this allows us to, control the Raspberry Pi without needing to actually be on it with the monitor and keyboard. So we're going to go ahead and do sudo apt-get update. Okay, so sudo apt-get update is done. Now we're going to go ahead and run sudo apt-get upgrade. This is downloading those packages. So go ahead and type yes. That gives it permission to write, and then that should be doing its work now for a few minutes. Okay, so that took a few minutes. Now we're going to do sudo apt-get dist-upgrade. Yeah, sorry. Should be pretty quick, I think. Yeah, there it is. So now just do reboot to make sure everything's working fine. I'm going to choose my identity as 1. And then again, password is raspberry. So it's going to close because obviously I just rebooted. So I'm going to go ahead and click new session. I'm going to let it sit for maybe a minute or two actually, because I have no idea if it's turning on yet. Okay, yeah, so it's back up. That was fast. So Pi, raspberry. Alright, so we are now in, and it looks like it's working fine. So first command we're going to do is sudo apt-get install libssl-dev. So these are just going to be some dependencies for Python and Discord Pi. Okay, so that first command is good. Now we're going to run the second one for libffi-dev. Okay, so that one's done. Now we're going to run this one. Okay, so now we're going to start installing Python 3.6.1. So run this command, wget just installs the file. It's in the file extension .tgz, which is similar to zip file except it's used on Linux. Alright, so that's done. Now run tar xzvf python 3. Okay. Seems... Okay, it doesn't see the file. Let's ls real quick to see what's here. Cool, okay, so that's supposed to be 1. So, extract that. So this is basically doing unzip, except like I said, for a tar file. Alright, that's done. Now, we're going to cd into the directory, and once again, this has to be 1. Alright, so now we're here. So, we're going to run .configure, so this is just going to take about 2 to 5 minutes. This is part of the installation for Python. Alright, so that took a few minutes. Now we're just going to run make. This one is most likely going to be a little bit longer. As soon as that's done, I'll come back.
Alright guys, so that took a while. That was the make command. So now we're going to do sudo make install, which should finally install Python 3.6.1. So this one should be a little bit quicker, but still pretty long. So I'll go ahead and come back when this command is done running.
Alright guys, so Python 3.6.1 is successfully installed. Oh shoot, that is the wrong command. So now we're just going to go ahead and reboot like we did last time, and then pick your identity as 1, and then again, password is raspberry. Okay, connection disconnected. 86 I think it was. So if I click open, it might already be up actually. Yeah, I might have went too quick. So it connected to it, but the SSH server isn't up yet, so let me go ahead. Oh, there it is. Okay, Pi raspberry. Great. So sudo python 3-m pip install u discord pi voice. So let's go over what this does. Sudo makes you run this command as an administrator. Python 3 is just Python's command. This is how you would run Python stuff. -m is just an argument. Pip is an installer software similar to apt on Linux, but it's only for Python, which installs Python libraries. So install discord.py voice. So this is basically installing the discord.py library with the voice support. So this should work. It might ask me for a sudo password, but probably not. Collecting data. Okay, cool. So it's downloading it, and it should do the entire install process all by itself. And like I said earlier, we're using discord.py. I will leave the link to the GitHub repository and the manual website so that you guys can check out the commands. So for this tutorial, just because I'm trying to make it a little bit short, I obviously can't show you guys how to program everything. I'll give you a little sample script so you can see it running, but if you want more videos about how to actually code it, then I might be able to make those later. So as soon as this is done downloading, I'll go ahead and come back so we could make the sample script.
Okay, so now that Discord Pi and Python is installed, the Raspberry Pi is pretty much ready to run any Discord Pi scripts or anything like that. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a text document here on my actual desktop. I'm just going to call it test. So if I open it, I'm going to paste this code in right here. Oh, looks like I didn't copy anything. Okay, great. Let me go copy that. Okay, so I do paste. Let me just, real quick, I'll go over this in a second. So what I have to do is do rename. Make sure you guys have your file extensions open. Yes. So now we have a .py, that's a Python script, which I have open with Notepad++. So let's go over this real quick. Import Discord, this is what we just downloaded, the Discord Pi. From export import commands. Okay, good. So that's that. Token equals your token here. I'm gonna go over that in 1 second, but basically this is how the bot. This is how the bot knows which bot profile to sign in with. So you don't want to tell anyone your token, because if they know it, they could make a bot under your name. So this is NinjaBot in Python. Again, this is the sample code from the blog post, which I will leave in the description because he pretty much gets all this credit. Bot equals commands.bot, command prefix. This is what you set to be your prefix. So let's say, in this case, if I do $help, it'll listen to that. You could do backspace, period. It could be a word, but if it's a word like test, there has to be a space. Otherwise, it won't get that. So I'm just gonna leave it ? Description equals description. Great. So at bot.event. This is saying that this is going to be an event. Async is asyncio. Speaking of which, I think there should be import asyncio here. So async def on ready. So this says that there's an event that gets called. Not that gets called, but there is an event that's part of the Discord Pi library, which is on ready. It returns true when the bot is logged in, and then here it'll just print logged in as bot.username, bot.userid, and then just some lines. So at bot.command, this is saying that this is a command, it's not an event, since you define hello. So the command name is hello. You might recognize that this is similar to a regular function. So you could change this to be test or whatever it will be. And in this case, when I do $hello, it will await bot.say world, which is the equivalent of print, except the bot actually says it in chat. So this is just an example of arguments, just some simple addition, and then bot.run token that runs the bot with this token. So the next step is going to be to go to Discord app. I spelled that wrong. discordapp.com/developers. Okay, great. That's not supposed to be there. So just like that. This is the actual part of Discord where you will get your application. So these are my current bots. So you're going to go ahead and click New App. In this case, I'm just going to call it Test Bot. Don't worry about redirect, and you could choose an icon in description. It doesn't really matter. So this is your client ID, client secret, and so first of all, let me just go over the details. So this is just app name. Again, like I said, this is all optional, probably except the name. So just go ahead and click Create Bot User. So this makes your application actually have an account. So I'm not going to make this public account, and I'm just going to go ahead and reveal my token because I'm going to be deleting this anyways. So this is your token. So go ahead and copy it, and up here where it says your token here, just paste. Great. So that has, this right here is basically a fully functioning bot. Okay, so you go ahead now here, so we can do mkdir, make directory, test. Okay, cd test. So now we are in test. There should be nothing here. So sudo nano test.py. Great. So no. I have to open test.py. So this is our code. Here we have copy this. Go back to here, and if I click enter, great. So it's all copied into the Raspberry Pi. So do Control X, yes to save, enter. Great. So if you do ls, you'll see that we have test.py. So now what we have to do is it's Python 3 test.py. Just Pi would be used on Windows and probably outdated versions of Python, but on the Raspberry Pi running 361, it's Python 3. So as you can see here, it says logged in as testbot. This is your user ID. So now let's say you wanted to test this. Let's go ahead and create a new server. Create a server. Test, doesn't really matter. Create, great. So let me disconnect here so it's faster. What you're gonna do is, this is your client ID, so just there, that copied it. I wasn't supposed to paste it there, but there it is, it's copied. So now there should be a URL somewhere. Alright, here it is. So again, this link is from the article, so go ahead and click here, and then where it says your ID goes here, your client ID goes here, so go back to here. All you have to do is select it, now it's copied, paste, and backspace that. So this should create your invite link. Now if I copy this, great, test bot. Pick your server, I'm just going to do test. Authorize, great, I'm not a bot. So now if you look here, you'll see the test bot is here, and if I do question mark help, it will respond. So that is the basics on how to make a Discord bot on the Raspberry Pi. I'm using the Pi 3 version B if it matters. I will leave all the links, the commands in the description. And if you guys want an actual coding tutorial on how to code the bot, going through some basics, I could possibly do that. Well, thank you guys for watching, and I'm going to sign out now.